What's up, guys? Fens the Spook coming at you from All Hallows Eve. It's been a little while. I want to apologize for that. I promised in some random video we did a while ago that I would do something special for Halloween. I haven't posted in a little over a month, so I did want to make sure I got that done. When I say I'd do something, I want to make sure I do it. As far as why I haven't been, posting vids more frequently, just haven't got around to it. I don't want to force myself to. I want to do it when I feel like doing it, when I'm in the mood to do it. And, that way it stays fresh and, I don't start viewing it as something I have to do, which will probably make me do it even less. So, I know some of you guys want videos more frequently. I got a few messages about it, and I'll do the best I can. I promise I'll try to make it a little better. But anyway, let's focus on what we have here. A little Halloween special from Fens the Spook, I suppose. What I did is I compiled all the Halloween covers I have in my collection, which was a lot more than I thought. I thought I only had like 3 or 4, then it turned into 5 or 6, then it turned into like a dozen. So this won't be a super long video, but it'll be long enough. Couldn't quite get the lighting the way I wanted it. It was a little too bright, for a Halloween video, but I did end up getting it to where it kind of feels like you're on a stage. I don't know. I kind of like the way the lighting is. It just looks black beyond the books, and I don't know, kind of weird and surreal. I kind of went with a different angle of lighting. You guys probably can't tell, but anyway. So there's all that. There's the introductions poorly laid out by me. So let's get to it. Halloween covers. I'm a big Halloween fan. I think that probably goes without saying when you're into monsters and scary movies and scary comics and things like that. I don't really get into like the slasher guts kind of Halloween, like Jason and Freddy and stuff. I kind of like classic supernatural ghosts, almost like just contemporary American Halloween stuff. I know it sounds weird, but that's kind of what I'm into. So anyway, you'll kind of see that, I think, with my selection of horror, or Halloween covers, rather. So here we go. This first one is Haunted Horror, the Halloween issue. This is a current book, actually. What this is it's a collection of scans, basically, direct scans of old pre-code horror books. This cover is a well-known classic of the pre-code horror genre. It's put out by Craig Yo and a couple other folks. If you don't know this guy, check him out on Facebook. He puts out a lot of the horror collections you can see in the background to the left, all the ones with the red blood tags up top. Those are all printed by Craig Yo and company. A lot of horror reprints, real good stuff. But this Halloween issue cover I just thought was really, really cool. I love the characters in the bottom. We got a real cool motif, and you got this big devil coming out of the background. I mean, this is just one of the best horror covers ever. And for it to be thrown out as a Halloween issue doesn't make it a Halloween cover, I suppose, but it fit. It came out like a week or two ago, and I was real excited to see. I like seasonal covers, so that was cool. So yeah, Haunted Horror Halloween issue. If you're not reading this and you're a horror fan, you're missing out. Oops. Gotta make sure I don't knock a few things over here. The next few are just a couple of handouts that are going on with this year's Comic Fest. If you don't know what that is, it's a little like a free comic book day style thing they do. It just has, Halloween covers and Halloween comics and things like that. Working at a comic store, I snagged a few the night before. So just to show you kind of what you can expect if you go to one tomorrow. Again, I'm into real contemporary American Halloween covers, as you can see here by this Donald Duck reprint. This is the kind of stuff I like. I mean, it doesn't have to be this silly, but I just like classic Halloween covers, and I really dig this one. It's a straight reprint of a 1960s Donald Duck comic. Pretty cool. Free if you head to your participating comic shop on Halloween. Should be, anyway. They're also doing a little reprint of the Sabrina comic. It's not a Halloween per se, but it was included in the freebies for the Halloween Comic Fest, so I figured I'd show it off. Again, I believe these got canceled, but if you can get your hands on these Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, the new ones, they're really good. They're just as good as the Archie Afterlives. If you haven't read those, do yourself a favor, check those out. Some great Halloween reading. The Archie horror series they've been doing are really, really top-notch. So anyway, just get those out of the way. Here, those are a few of the freebies. This one, there's going to be a couple House of Mystery covers in here, and this one's probably the most Halloween of them all. Just a really, really cool one. This is actually a really nice high-grade copy I got recently at a show. I'll try to do a video or two about the stuff I picked up at the show. Again, last time I promised I was going to do a bunch of vids. I didn't do them, so I don't want to promise anything. But I have been picking up quite a few things at shows, so I've got enough stuff to do a vid if I get the time, for sure. But I got a cool Halloween cover here. I love the moon, the scarecrow, looking down on these two kids. Oops, sorry, bumped the table there. You got looking down on these two kids in the kind of oddly illuminated pumpkin yard. Yeah, just a really cool cover. I kind of wish the Pumpkin Man didn't have this like kind of weirdly long nose, but I don't know, whatever, right? You can't, beggars can't be choosers. It's a cool Halloween cover, one of the best from the House of Mystery line. House of Mystery is probably one of my favorite lines in comics, and I have almost a full run. Here's another kind of silly, classically goofy Halloween cover. This is actually the oldest comic book I own. I didn't realize that when I bought it because it doesn't have that giveaway Golden Age size to it. It's actually just a Silver Age size book, just a variety book from from 1945. The inside really doesn't have anything to do with Halloween. It's just the October issue. I just thought the cover was cool. There's something kind of, I don't know, demented about those little kids' pumpkin hats. They're kind of weird looking. I don't know. There's something cool about vintage Halloween stuff. I think it's unintentionally eerie and creepy. I don't know. I like it a lot. So I'm trying to get the glare off there. I don't know. This cover probably doesn't mean, it's probably not very cool to most people, but I really like it. So just kind of a random old school Halloween cover. Again, the oldest comic I own, 1945. Pretty cool there. Here we have probably my favorite of the covers. I don't know if you're able to get this, but let me try to get this in a little bit closer. This is actually pretty interesting. Look at the moon. I don't know if it's going to come through or not. See if you can see there's actually a big faint jack-o'-lantern face in the moon. I find this to be just really, really cool. I like the way it's very, very subtle. Again, I hope the jack-o'-lantern face comes through in the moon for you guys. It may or may not. This is Ghosts, another one of the DC horror titles. Very interesting. Got a guy here, Grave Robin, another guy, and his ghost is sitting right above him. Well, this big ghoulish Halloween moon grins on. I don't know. This cover is really probably my favorite. It's very, very subtle. The later Ghost covers really weren't that good, so it's kind of a diamond in the rough here. This is definitely the last good Ghost cover they did, I think. It's just my opinion, but this cover just, again, big ghastly grinning moon looking on with a kind of faint jack-o'-lantern face on it. I just really like this cover. This is one of my favorites, a little Ghost Halloween special. Real cool. Ghosts, number 108. This is a House of Mystery cover. I kind of cheated a little bit. This isn't really a Halloween cover. I always felt it was, like, the kids are creeping up on the house in Halloween and the witch is taking off. I don't know. I kind of snuck this one in. I just really like this House of Mystery cover, so... Is it strictly a Halloween cover? No, but, sue me. Whatever, right? Check it out. Pretty cool. Again, that glare is not so great. It's got cool coloring. Just a really neat cover. I'll probably do an entire video on the House of Mystery covers, though. This is an interesting one. This is Headless Horseman #1 from Eternity Comics. Never read it. Probably not very good. Eternity Comics stuff tends not to be the best. But what's interesting is this is a 2-part series, and while I've seen this #1 in a lot of dollar bins, I have never seen the #2. I'm sure it's out there. I do consider the Ichabod Crane thing to be kind of a Halloween story, so any kind of Ichabod Crane Headless Horseman cover I would consider Halloween, so not the coolest cover. I mean, it's nothing subtle here. It's just a big screaming skull. You got the Headless Horseman running down below, down here. I mean, it's cool. It's not the best, though, right? I just wanted to point out that it's kind of an interesting one. I'd really like to get the #2. If anybody out there has one, I'd be happy to buy it from me. Just let me know. So here's Secrets of Haunted House, another DC horror title. This is a cool one. Not in the best shape. This one's maybe like a VG. Just a cool Bernie Wrightson cover, though. These are tough to find. The Bernie Wrightson ones always go quick. I'm not even sure what's going on here. It's like this dude trying to wrestle with this pumpkin head. You know what? I don't even know. I'm not even sure what's going on with this cover. Doesn't really matter. It's super awesome. Jack-o'-lantern flesh pile this guy's wrestling with, or I don't have any idea what's going on with this cover, but super cool. Love jack-o'-lanterns. There we go. So Secrets of Haunted House #44. Probably the most iconic cover of DC's Halloween lines, or excuse me, most iconic cover of DC's horror lines in terms of Halloween covers. The Secrets of Haunted House #5. Really, really good cover. Just this black background with kind of sinking away into nothingness. Kind of what I was trying to do up here, where's the bookshelf, you got all the books and stuff, and then it just sinks away to black nothingness up there. Kind of the same idea I like on this cover. Not to get all weird, but, some of my, I guess, nightmares sometimes, that's often what I see is some kind of thing like just sitting there illuminated, and there's this black void behind it. So things like that kind of probably hit me on a little more primitive level maybe than everybody else. But here's so this cover has always kind of spoken to me, just this jack-o'-lantern sitting there and there's nothing behind it or to the sides. It's just real cool. I like the face illuminated on the ground. Really cool one here. Secrets of Haunted House number 5. Halloween special. Another one I kind of snuck in. Not exactly a Halloween cover per se. It doesn't say it anywhere, but I just really like this one. I feel like this one could definitely be a Halloween. You know, you got a little house there in the corner and all these animals, the horses and the pigs and the cows and the dogs. I don't guess there's no cows, but anyway, all these animals are just howling at this like ghoul moon. You know, easily this could be a Halloween night cover. I don't know, I just really liked it. To me, this has always been a Halloween cover, even though there's nothing about it that says it has to be. But hey, it's my channel, my video, right? It's a Halloween cover. We love it. House of Mystery 200. Here we got a House of Mystery 264. Definitely a Halloween cover. Got some trick-or-treaters running from a hag and some banshees. Little jack-o'-lantern spirit coming out. They're pretty cool. Pretty cool. Not the coolest of them all, but, you know, not a bad one. The later House of Mystery covers weren't that great, so this is a pretty decent one. It's House of Mystery 264. We're coming up on some, I don't want to say my favorites, because these aren't exactly Halloween covers, but you'll see what I mean in a minute. So the next ones I'm kind of excited about. This next one is probably my favorite comic that I own. This one is just, there's something, I don't know, it's in the running anyway. It may not be the exact, my top favorite, but this is Classics Illustrated, Rip Van Winkle and the Headless Horseman. So half of it's a Rip Van Winkle story, which is those little elves and the old dude there in the corner, and half of it's the Headless Horseman and the Ichabod Crane story. This cover is just out of sight. This is a very old book. It's not an original. It's not a first edition. I think it's like 5th or 6th edition. But the interior art is just really dreamlike. I don't know. I don't want to sound weird, but just very strange and enchanting almost. I really like the art on the inside of these. Again, very, I don't want to, childish isn't the right word, but when I was a kid, I was really into like, I would read any Headless Horseman book I could find, and a lot of them had this kind of dreamy, strange art to them, and I find this Classics Illustrated kind of really captured that. So this is definitely one of my favorite books. Classics Illustrated number 12, and again, it is the Headless Horseman cover. Almost done here. Let's see here. We got the creme de la creme, my favorite Halloween cover for sure. It's not, it's not often you see a Mad Magazine cover this cool. I mean, I like Mad Magazine, don't get me wrong. I still subscribe to it. It sits on the back of my John, you know what I mean? It's that kind of thing to me. I like Mad, but I don't really collect Mad. But this cover is just out of sight. I mean, this is probably the best Sleepy Hollow cover I own, period, let alone that it's on a Mad. It's really, I really can't say enough about this cover. This is probably the best Halloween cover in my collection. This was scored by, or given to me, well, not given to me, I purchased it from Tony Hines. I've mentioned him in the past in a couple videos. He's a dealer friend of mine in the North Florida area. What's crazy about this, I'm going to wrap this up here quickly. I had just really learned about the existence of this cover on Facebook through a little, horror group I'm into. They posted, somebody posted this and said, best Mad cover ever. And I was like, oh my God, man, I've never even seen that. I've got to get it. And then I just went to the North Florida Con, and immediately when I ran into Tony, he handed this to me and just said, hey dude, I knew this would be up your alley. So that's what's cool when you have a dealer who gets your interest, man. They can usually predict when you're going to like something. And so yeah, I ended up with this gem, this Mad Magazine cover. So we're going to end it there. That's my collection of Halloween covers. I probably have a few others that I just didn't realize were Halloween. They're maybe not so obvious, but these are the ones that, really bring the spirit of the season to me. So on that note, guys, I'm going to end it. Have a great, happy Halloween. Enjoy the witching hour and the ghoulish day that's upon us. And stay safe out there, kids. We'll see you soon.